me get you zoomed in to over here where I'm at. Let's see if we can make this work right. I'm trying to get you over my drills because I'm way over here on this side. See that little patch of white over there? That's where we're working. It's truly green. It's all green. We're upside down right now. We're upside down. And this is like the grass in front of the gazebo. We got to make grass tonight. We're making grass, folks. Making grass. All right. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? It's all green. There's a bunch of AB in there as well. So I have my uh, little putty pen out, just in case. Just in case I need to use it. Let's see. Is it doing anything? Is it moving? I don't know. Can't tell. It was hard to turn. All right. Hello, Marianne, who is headed to Michigan. I hope you're driving safe, and I will see you soon, right? In just a couple of days. A couple of days. Yay. Hello, Sherry. And Dawn. And Paula. Hello. Kathy. Hello. Michelle's here. Welcome, 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 one and all. This is so weird over here. It usually tells me how many people are in the chat, and right now it just says one is waiting. One person waiting. Okay. Hello, John. How's John tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're all doing well on this fine, beautiful April day. Do you realize we don't have very many days left of April? April is quickly coming to an end. Quickly coming to an end. Yep. So, John's cooking. Well, yum. John, what are you cooking? My husband just asked me before I came in here to go live. He was like, so what's for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. Haven't even thought about it. Oh boy. So what do we have here? We've got one green, one AB, and a little bit of it's a yellow. I think, is it a fairy dust? Yep, it's a fairy dust. So we got fairy dust and AB in the grass. And this regular green that I'm going to work on first. So let's work on that first. Because that's what I was working on, and that's what's in my tray. That's what's in the tray. So I hope everybody had a great day. It has been a beautiful day here. I haven't seen very much of it, at least the outdoors, because I've been inside most of the day because, I had a craft show today. So I was inside from, 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Yep. And then, I had to pack up, come home, unload everything, take care of everything, which is always fun. It doesn't take me long to put everything away anymore or load it, actually. It's gotten to, a pretty good regiment. And Dale and I, we just kind of know what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. And we just kind of get her done. Get her done, So it's pretty quick. And I don't have tons of stuff. I have, what am I down to? 2 boxes of diamond painting items, 2 boxes or 2 tote type things of crochet. Then I have a box that is accessory stuff, organizational things and pens, and it's the box that just has all kinds of stuff in it. So that's it for the boxes of things. And then we have the crates, and we have the tables, of course. We have the screen. Oh, there is another box of diamond paintings. I take that back. There's 3 things of diamond paintings. A clothing rack, 2 tables. Then we had a chair. But, it goes pretty well.
pretty quick. I was saying when it was time to pack up and go, we all left early. It was supposed to be done at 3, and people started. One person started packing up at 2. They left an hour early, which the rules in your agreement really said not to. Said you must stay the whole time, you know. But this lady, she was packing up and she was leaving. She was selling like Play-Doh sets. Like there was Play-Doh and like little toys. Like there was a farm set. So there was Play-Doh and little farm animals that you would play in the Play-Doh with, I guess. I don't know. I don't think she did very well, and I think that was why she was packing up and leaving as early as she did. At first, I thought she was just going to pack up, like she had different size. They came in like totes, like plastic boxes. And at first, I thought she was just going to pack up the bigger ones, which she did at first. But then she just kept going. I was like, okay, well, she's leaving. And I mean, I understand. I do understand it. It was very, very, very small and very, very, very slow. Yeah, there were not very many people there. The vendors were nice. The organization was nice. I have not said, Shannon. I'm just talking about that right now. You didn't miss it. It was well organized. I don't know how well advertised it was, but they had food there. They had, I think there was 22 vendors, nice space, nice people to work with. I mean, and it was their first time ever trying this. They filled their cafeteria with their book fair. I mean, they had the largest book fair I've ever seen. We have never had a book fair of that size. And she actually said it was not the largest one they had this year. So if you've ever done a Scholastic book fair, most of the books come in these cases. They're like metal cases, and all the books are in them, and they close up, like they just roll on wheels and they close up and you fasten them up. So when you set it up, you just open it all up and there's all the books. She said they had 9 cases at their last one, and this time they only had, what'd she say, 7 cases? But then they had several tables filled with other stuff, like some books, but mostly all of the fun little stuff that the kids like to get into, little toy things, little kits, little, all that little trinkety stuff, which I got to tell you, I found myself gravitating towards some of it because, that's kind of how I am. I'm just a little kid at heart. But it was huge anyhow. It was really a nice setup. And being their first time, my guess is it just needed probably more advertisement, would be my guess. So it was really slow. And I sold 4 items. People, 4. 4. I was telling Dale right at the end, we started packing up about 2:30, 20 to 3, something like that. And I was telling Dale, I was like, if I could sell one more decent priced item, I would at least get my money back. So that was kind of what I was hoping for, to at least get my money back, get my fee back, which was $35. Well, we're packing up. And what we were really doing was he was coming up with this system of, he wanted to number like the stand-up pieces, that come in those little plastic stand that you have to put them in, because they always fall out of the stands, and trying to put the correct piece in the correct stand is a pain. So he was like, what do you put on your little blackboard? What do you use to write on that? And I said, it's a paint pen. He said, will it come off these? And I'm like, I don't know. we can try it. So we tried it, and it will come off. It will wash off with a damp cloth. So he was numbering, he was labeling. This is number one. And he'd label on the back one, and then on the base one, and then he'd put them away. So we were kind of doing that. We weren't truly packing up at first. We were kind of just going through those and organizing them to make it easier for setup in the future, right? Because there's some we struggled with for quite a while trying to figure out what base went with it. There's some that we've lost bases. We don't have all the bases. So to make our lives easier in the future, it was a good idea. Anyhow, then we just continued packing up, and other people started packing up. And I mean, that was it. And then, of course, right at the very end, a small little gathering of people came in, probably 5 or 6 people came in. Yeah, you had to go to different rooms, which was the one downside of it. It wasn't that bad though, because you came in the main door and that's where all the food was. They had hot dogs, chips, popcorn, stuff like that. And then you walked from there into the cafeteria, which was where the book fair was. And there were 2 craft vendors in the cafeteria area. But then the rest of us were off in the gym, and you had to kind of go out the cafeteria, turn down another hallway, not far at all, but totally a different room. So you kind of had to keep going, you know what I mean? But anyhow, we're almost packed up. I'm packing up the crochet stuff, and this lady walks by, and on the end of my clothing rack, Dale always hangs this owl apron. He always hangs it there, the owl apron. She looked at that and she's like, oh, this is really cute. She says, is it too late to buy it? And I was like, no, not at all. $10. Just as an apron with just got an owl diamond painted on the front of it. I'm like, no, not at all. And she goes, I'm a hairdresser. She said, I think that will be just a hoot to wear at work. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be fun. So there we go. There was my last sale of $10. And that helped me get my fee back. So hello, Lynn, and hello, Patty. How are you guys? So I'm pretty sure my fee was $35. I'm going to go back and look. Pretty sure it might have been 30. If it was 30, if it was 30, I made $6. I think it was 35. I'll verify. I will verify, and I'll let you know for sure. Okay. So yeah, anyhow, I either made $1 or $6. But it was a nice little show, and I'm not holding it against them. They did a really nice job. The ladies from the PTO did a really nice job putting it together, organizing it. They really did a nice job. I think in years to come, it would be even more popular as more and more people knew about it. And I don't think anybody from the community came at all. I think it was just school people, lots of kids. Oh my gosh, it was super cute. There was this group of girls. And I know that the one girl, I think her mom had a booth, and she was just there. She had like cash in hand, and she was just kind of wandering around. I saw her, I don't even know how many times I saw her, just back and forth, back and forth. And there was another little girl too. But then some other girls came in that were more her age, and of course they were all friends. And then they were all giddy, yaha, giggle, giggle. Oh, look at this! Come here, look at this! Look what walking around together. So it was cute, very cute. But lots of kids, lots and lots of kids. A lot of grandparents with grandkids. I noticed that. That was interesting. But it was fun. It's always fun. You got to look at it as it's not always just about making money. I mean, it's, it's fun to get out in the public. I ran into a parent of former students I had. I had two of her children and, got to catch up on them, find out how they're doing. And I'm shocked. The oldest one that I had is 17. I'm like, and that wasn't that long ago. And that was at my last building I was at. Within my last 5 years, I'm like, whoa, okay. So, of course, she showed me pictures of everybody, and I'm like, wow. I did have two of her children. I did not have the third one, the youngest one, because they went to a different school at that point. But yeah, interesting. So it was fun. The little girl I was talking about that just was wandering around, she had probably somebody just gave her money and said, here, this is how much money you have. You figure out what you're going to buy, what you're going to spend it on. Okay, so let me backtrack a bit. This was a show that you could set up the night before. And since it's close to me, hello, Cal. Since it's close to me, I went and set up last night, which I love to do that if it makes sense to do so. Last night when we left, there were about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 people that had come and set up on Friday night. Well, when we get there, and because I come in late, I mean, not late, but it was like 10:02. I didn't have to be there early. I was all ready to go. So I come waltzing into the gym, and I look, and the first thing I see right across from me, the vendor is selling plushies. 2 full tables full of plushies. And I was like, oh, great. Okay. All right. Well, I probably won't sell a single one of my plushies, but maybe I'll sell some other crochet things because they didn't have other crocheted items. But you can tell, I know, Cal, it's going to be really soon. I know. You can tell that these people do this a lot. You can tell. You can tell by their setup. You can tell by they've got like a little cash register. I mean, they're on top of it. They know what they're doing. Doing shows is nothing new to them. Okay. Anyhow, that little girl that I was telling you about that was wandering around, the first thing that she bought, and she was actually with her parent at the time, before she was just on her own wandering, was a loaf cat. Now, these loaf cats were big loaf cats made out of blanket yarn, and they were $25. I was like, ooh, okay, a blanket loaf cat. Wow. I hate it when that happens. Like, I click the tray and everything flips over. I ever do that? I just bump the tray and all the drills popped and went crazy. So I was like, oh, I got brave after a while and started just going over there and just looking at some of their stuff. I mean, they knew who I was, The girl, and I don't know if it was the girl who made the crochet or not, because they also had another couple tables, and she was sitting kind of behind those tables, although they were all kind of connected, sort of. And that sold bread and cookies, like $10 bag of chocolate chip cookies. I was like, okay, their prices. I was like, okay, I'm not feeling bad about my prices at this point. I'm not feeling bad about my prices. Some kid she had bigger plushies, like some big plushies, and then, or him, I don't know whose they were technically. And on the front edge of the table was all these little baskets. I've seen them at Joann's. The last couple of times I've been in Joann's. Hello, Karen. And so they had all these little baskets there, and each basket was a thing, like chicken nuggets, a basket full of dumpster fires, a basket full of axolotls. And the cheapest ones were 10, 12, 13. for these small little plushies. And I was like, okay, I don't feel bad about some of my prices that I have. Some kid came by and picked up this black dragon. And it wasn't huge. It was not a huge black dragon. Let me just say, it was not huge. It was probably 10 inches standing up, and then the tail stuck out a little. He picked it up. He really liked it. I think he was with grandma, and he was showing it to her and whatnot. And he goes, "Oh, it's $70." And he put it back. And I was like, he instantly knew he wasn't going to get anything for $70. And that was not one of their large plushies. They had some that were even bigger. They had a couple of unicorns that were really big. Lots of things I looked at were $45 and $50. And I was like, okay, wow. I mean, I get it. I get that they're work. I mean, doing the few little ones that I've done, I get it. Totally get it. But I was like, ooh, those are some hot prices, And they probably get those prices at some shows. I don't think they were going to get them at this show. They didn't sell anything large. They did sell a lot of their little emotional support potato or emotional support pickles. That's what all those little baskets were all those little things like that. And they did sell quite a few of those. The only larger item I saw them sell was that loaf cat. And it was a bigger loaf cat for sure with blanket yarn, but still. I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't have taken any longer for them to crochet that loaf cat than my little loaf cats. Wouldn't have taken any more time at all. The stitches, the process is completely the same. It's just depending on what yarn and hook you use is what size you're going to get. You use blanket yarn, it's going to be big. You use the kind of yarn I've been using, it's going to be smaller. You use acrylic yarn, it's going to be even smaller yet. But it's not going to take any more time, right? It's going to take the same amount of time no matter what. Anyhow, it was very interesting. But I did sell. The first thing I sold, and it was to that little girl that was, wandering around with her cash in her hand. She was looking for something. She had $7 or $8. I can't remember. And she was looking for something that she could afford, right? And so I got up. I was sitting in my chair, I got up and I walked over and I was talking to her. And, she told me what she had and she wanted to buy something, told me how much money she had. And so we looked through some things. And if you guys remember, if you watch the Crochet Lives or watch my crochet get ready, market, whatever, I made a little tiny star. It was going to be a little star pillow, but it turned out like really little, little, super cute. I sold that to her for $6. That was my first sale. Okay. And then I sold, what else did I sell? I sold a headband. Oh, the tulip stitch headband I sold to a woman who I'm glad I got Venmo because she wanted to pay with Venmo. So I sold that. What else did I say? I sold that apron. The other item, then some little girl, she just kept coming back. No, I'm wrong. It was a boy that was there with his grandma. And he was looking at the loaf cats. And I have one loaf dog, right? I made one dog and I had 3 cats. All the girls kept picking up the pink cat. All the little girls loved the little pink cat and none of them bought it. But this little boy, he wanted something. And grandma was like, okay, well, which one would you like then? He picked the one dog, the little gray dog I made. So there was my 4 sales. It's so funny that this time I sold more crochet items. Not that I sold a lot of items, but more crochet than diamond painting. Last show was more diamond paintings than crochet. You just never know. And the show I did 2 weeks ago was smaller, less people, but I sold more. You just never know. It's so weird how it works. So I've been kind of looking around at other shows. I got to talk to Karen. Karen, her and her husband and her daughter have done a show in Mason, but I don't know if I can afford that show. From what I looked up, I think that's out of my price range. I believe. So I don't know if I want to be able to do that one. There's another show. It's in the summer sometime, or maybe it's May. It's sometime. It's not too far away, and it's out at the fairgrounds. And I looked that one up today, and that's a reasonably priced show. I gotta look into it a little bit more because they had like two different prices based on the location of your booth. Like there was one spot that is a more prominent spot, more on the main path or something. That's one price, and those apparently are sold out. But you could also sign up for a booth that's a little more off the main path, which was cheaper. Oh, Karen said it is pricey. Was it like $100, Karen? I mean, that's what I got when I looked at the site. I think it said it was like $100. That's out of my price range. That's just out of my price range. I'm down at the 30, 35, maybe 40, you know, that's my price range at this point. Because, I'm not selling that much stuff and I'm not doing it, truly not doing it to try and sell a bunch and make a bunch of money. I'm really just doing it because I have so much stuff. That's how I started. I started accumulating so many things just from crafting, you know, which I love to do. But then what do you do with all those things? I've given items to people. I don't think any of my friends or relatives want anything else from me. you know, I think they're over it. But so I just thought, well, since I have all this stuff and I don't really have any place to pawn it off, what about trying to sell it? That's how the craft show world started. Okay, that is not working any longer. Not working. And this is too sticky at this point. Hello, Joyce. Hello, April. So it's really just, if I can sell some things, it eliminates some of the stuff in my basement. It found a good home, and maybe I made $1 or two. And it's just it's fun. It is fun. It's much more difficult when it's really slow and you're not selling much, so you're not really busy. I did get to crochet a lot today. I will say that. So I worked on my project for the crochet along. Yeah, okay. I thought so, Karen. I'm like, that's out of my price range. I just can't do that one. If I sold more stuff at my shows, then I would think about it. But at this point, if I sell $100 worth of stuff, I'm considering that good, and I made a couple bucks. I made a couple dollars along the way, and I'm happy with that. But what was I saying? I have been looking to see if I can find maybe a couple more shows to do. Nothing, I mean, I'm certainly not the kind of person, I'm not going to want to be out there every weekend or every other weekend or anything like that. But a few more shows would be good. I do have one I keep forgetting if it's June or July. I have to look up on the calendar and see which one it is. And then my thought is, okay, I had all this cute Easter stuff. I had all these Easter bunnies and chicks, and they're probably not going to be real popular in the summer now, are they? Probably not. I mean, they might be. So what do I do? What do I focus on? I don't know. Do I make more? I want to make some more loaf dogs. The dog turned out really cute. Do I make flowers? Do I make, I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. Uh, the lady that I knew from school, she her booth was just random stuff, all crafty things. She had a few crochet items. She had some beaded items. She had just some scrapbook, paper craft kinds of things. She just had a whole menagerie of stuff. And I had to laugh. She had a little basket of scrunchies. I said, "Oh, you got some velvet scrunchies?" And she goes, "Yeah, they're some of my best sellers." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "That's funny." I said, "I have a basket of scrunchies and I've never sold one." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have never sold one of my scrunchies." And she was like, "That's weird." She said, "I was at one show and I sold like 8 of them." And I was like, "Okay, all right. Well," I said, "and you're selling yours for more than I was." She just laughed. I was like, "You never know. You just never know." But
It is what it is. I don't know, Lynn, if I'm taking anything to the retreat or not. I don't know. I don't know if anybody at the retreat really is interested in anything. I don't know. But my next thing is space in my car. That's my next issue with the retreat. So, if you guys noticed yesterday for the crochet live, um, I'm working with Angie on a project. And Angie came here to my house. So we actually were live together, which was fun. She came and she picked up some stuff from me that she's taking home with her to bring to the retreat, because she can. And we came up with this plan to um, go live together. And she was game. She was up for a little road trip, and she's like, "Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll come help you out. I'll bring some stuff." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I cleaned out my car a little bit. Karen's got a bunch of stuff. She's got a big load, but I got a ton of stuff. I got a ton of stuff. You know, Lynn, I might, somebody said, you know, somebody in comment one time said, you could just sell stuff on your channel. And I was like, yeah, maybe. I've sold diamond paintings on my channel. I could do like here's a crochet drop. I have this, 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 and this. These are the prices. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Of course, doing it that way, you guys would have to pay shipping and whatnot. All that stuff doesn't cost much to ship. If it's smaller items, they fit into a little bag. And, for most places, it's not a whole lot of money to ship things like that. But it would have to cost a little more, because of shipping. All right, I finished the grass. Now, oh, look, I left this here. Hang on. You go right there. You go right here. Hang on. There. Now we're in a conundrum because now I have to move over to a new section. Let's move to a new section without making a mess here. I got to move this closer to me because I can't reach that section over there. So we're going to slide. Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going to slide. All right. Hang on. Well, I hit the tripod. I know. But I'm hitting my desk. I don't know how to do that, Paula, but I have seen that. Hello, Angie. I was just talking about you. I got to figure out how to do that in Ko-fi. How you set up a little shop in Ko-fi. Hang on. We're going to readjust here. I got to move away from my desk a bit because everything's hitting the desk because I'm trying to pull this towards me. Oh, and it's clipped to the table over there. Yeah, we're there. I'm close enough. Okay, now I got to readjust the tripod so you can see what I'm doing. What am I doing? I guess you can see. I guess that didn't mess that up too bad at all, did it? Sorry for moving everything around. Anyhow. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out and see how that works. That's not a bad idea, actually. Not a bad idea. All right, there's my next section. All right, so I'm to the point where I don't think there's a whole lot of fun stuff. This is the rest of the gazebo. I got the gazebo, and I think all the rest of this is grass and trees and then sky, I think. Let me see. Yep. Yep. Oh, I do have a little bit of a, gotta finish this little crane right here. All I have left is just his head right there. But the rest of this, I got, you'll see, 2 release papers wide, right? 2 release papers wide from here up to the top. So I think it's going to be like 2, 4, 6, 8 release papers, maybe. More than I want. More than I want there to be. That's what there is more than I want there to be. Let's see. Did I do this one properly? Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, it's more than I would like there to be. Anyhow, because trying to finish this by the end of April, I'm running out of time, running out of time. And if I was to do a whole section a day, if I was to do a whole section a day, it would take me 8 days. Well, that's not happening. We don't have 8 days left. We don't have 8 days left of the month. So that would mean I'd have to do more than one section a day. And that's not about to happen because the retreat is, well, this next coming up weekend, and I still have things to do for that to get ready and life. And then Dale just said, can we schedule a tire rotation for your car? How about on Tuesday? And I'm like, oh, sure. Okay, sure. Just life. Just life. But anyhow, here's what I know. This is what I know. It will get finished. It will get finished. When I go to the retreat, I'm probably going to have to take it with me, and it's going to be the first thing I work on. Now, for May, which is down on the farm, which I'm super excited to do, I'm really, really looking at my paintings and looking for a smaller one that I can do that I could finish up in May fairly easily, right? So this will get done first at the retreat, and I get a lot more diamond painting or crafting done when I'm at a retreat because, I mean, I don't have anything else to do. Even as an organizer of the retreat, which you always have more to do as an organizer, I still have a lot more time to just get stuff done, right? So that's my plan. I will take this with me. It will get done before I start my May canvas. It will get done. Hello, Leona. Hello, Brenda. And then I'll start my May project. Like I said, I am not creating any new whips. We are not creating any new whips. I'm like Maritza, being monogamous. We're being monogamous with our paintings. I will not leave you. I will not desert you. I will stand by your side until you are completed. Because we're not gonna put you in a whip pile somewhere. No. You're not going off to the whip pile. Anyhow, Angie and I are doing a bag, and she, being Angie, had already worked on the square before yesterday, and she encountered, a little faux pas. She said, "So
I think we need to change the number of stitches here to this to make this not get all curly and ruffly. So I'm like, okay. She's using a very fine yarn. I'm using a 4-weight yarn. They called for a 3-weight yarn. So neither one of us are using the size yarn that the pattern asked for. But I played with mine last night and today a little bit, trying to get the correct number of stitches for my weight of yarn to make this look right. So I had plenty of time to do that today, as I said at the craft show. Plenty of time to do that. um, oh, Lynn had a tiara for you. I'll try to go live at the retreat. It depends. It always depends on the Wi-Fi situation, you know? Last year at the ranch, I tried to go live at the ranch, and it was like, nope. Nope, nope, nope. That was not happening. This place might be a little better. I don't know. I'll give it a try. No guarantees. You might see me next Saturday. You might not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay? See how it goes. But time will tell. And if I'm not here, I know you guys will miss me terribly, but I promise you'll survive. I promise. Oh boy. So that was how the day went. I resisted buying anything too. I was like, I'm not going to come sell stuff, try to make a little bit of money, and turn around and spend it on stuff that I don't really need. I was tempted at the book fair, though. I was tempted at the book fair because their books were buy one, get one free. I mean, seriously, they were buy one, get one free. Yes, they were children's books, but there was one book there that was really more of like, I would call it like a young adult book. And it was kind of calling my name. And I looked at it twice and I just said, no, I don't need it. I have enough books to read, even though it sounded good. And I didn't make any money, really, to speak of, other than $1. So I felt like I was not justified in spending money that I hadn't earned. You know what I mean? So I didn't. I resisted. And that's hard for me to resist. I resisted. I did. Are you proud of me? Please tell me you're proud of me, because it was hard. It was hard. And then I get home and there's a bag of yarn on the front porch. Yes, there was a bag of yarn on the front porch. I have not resisted yarn, although I should. I should really resist buying any yarn. But I don't know. That one's hard. That one is hard to do. I've got enough yarn downstairs. I could crochet for years, years. But I don't know. There's just something about getting some new yarn and you hear about a good deal somewhere and you're like, you go check it out. And next thing you know, the things are in your cart and you're hitting the buy button. I know you people know what I'm talking about. I know you understand this. Maybe it's not yarn, but there's something out there that gets you. I know there is. Oh, and it's just like, you can't resist it. You just, you fight it for a little while, and then you give in. You fight it for a little while, and then you give in. Hello, Dorothy. Hello, Sean. See, you would have spent your profits, right? Plus more. Oh, my goodness, right? I know. I do have to figure out if it was a $30 show or a $35 show. I don't remember. I don't remember. One of the two. That's all I know. I'll figure it out though, because now I want to know. Did I make $1 or did I make $6? Well, if I made $6, woof. I mean, I did buy cookies. Okay, the Girl Scouts were there. Not Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scouts, like homemade cookies that these little girls were selling to earn some money for their activities. Homemade cookies. So I did buy 2 packages of cookies. That was a good deal. Let me tell you what. 2 large no-bake cookies for $1. 3 chocolate chip cookies for $1. I spent $2. So see, Sean, if I made $1, I spent my $1 and another $1. Right? I spent my profit on cookies. But, I feel like that one went to a really good cause. It was supporting the little daisies. They're like the little kindergartners, the little girls, the little daisies, They're not even brownies yet, although they had brownies there. I didn't buy any of those. It's fun that Dale goes with me because, well, Dale likes to wander. If you knew my husband, you would know he can talk to a rock. Seriously, he can talk to a rock and have a perfectly fine conversation with it. He'll talk to anybody. So he would be like, "You okay here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good here." He goes, "Okay, I'm going to go, I don't know, wander around. I'm going to go to the bathroom." And he would be gone for like 40 minutes, and I'm fine with that. As long as he comes back once in a while so that I can also do the same thing because I like to wander around too. And I like to go to the bathroom and, those kinds of things. So as long as he comes back and lets me have my turn, I don't mind. And he's very helpful. Really, he's helpful. And he sets up all the diamond painting stuff. He packs up all the diamond painting stuff. That's kind of like become his part of the craft shows, diamond painting stuff. So I just let him go at it, and he knows how to set it up. And he'll tinker around with it, and he'll be like, "No, I'm going to move this. I'm going to move that. I'm going to change this from here to here." We actually had power today, and we brought some extension cords, and all the little boxes you have to plug everything into, because I have 3 items that are lights that, you have to have a USB and all that. So we actually were able to light them up today, which was cool. It looked really nice having the lit up lights actually lit up. I have a couple things that run on battery, and I always turn those on, but we had more things lit up today, and it was pretty cool. I have a mirror. It's really a cool mirror. It's on a stand and everything. It's a nice stand. It's got a little button. You can turn it on and off. So you could leave it plugged in all the time. So when it's off and the light is not on, it's a mirror. It's a mirror. And when you turn the light on, then you see a diamond painting behind the mirror. It's really cool. And it's an owl. It's really pretty. It was neat to see it lit up, I haven't seen it lit up in a long time, but we got it lit up today, and it was kind of fun. So, craft show done. Another one in the books. On to the next thing, which is the retreat. On to the retreat. Angie and I have homework for our project, and it was to get 4 more squares done before, well, not next week, because we're not going to do our crochet along next week. But I have to do 4 more squares in 2 weeks. So it's like 2 weeks. I already have my 2 done for this week. I'm ahead of the game already. But that's what happens when I just get to sit around and just don't have anything else to do. I just sit around and crochet. What you been doing, honey?
Lights.
Lights. Oh, playing with all the solar lights.
The beacon out here don't work.
The lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
We can get a new one.
We can.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Menards.
Where'd it go?
Last time I was at Menards, they still had them.
Okay, cool.
It's a dead one, huh?
I put one of those round balls that broke
Yeah.
in it.
Oh.
See if it works.
Okay. Yeah, I know that Menards had those last time we were there. I love it. It's a lighthouse and it's a solar light. I love it. It's so cool. It changes colors. Goes green, blue, red, purple, I think. It's really pretty. So Dale's been out there working on all the solar lights. Oh, yesterday was fun. I decided one of the very first flower beds that we worked on when we moved here. Well, hello.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Oh, they saw a bear.
But out the back
Yeah,
window, back patio.
our friends are at our timeshare, and they got a nice picture of a bear there.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, nice little bear right out their window, huh? Wow, nice, nice. So, what was I saying? I completely forgot what I was saying. We just saw 3 bears. Well, I only see 1 there, but they saw 3. Huh? I know they only got 1 on camera. The others were being shy. They're being shy. Oh, yesterday, the flower bed, a cute garden cat statue. Nice. This flower bed, we planted, like I said, it was one of the first things that we did. There was a great big old huge ugly bush in it. Scrubby bush, a weedy bush. We tore that out, redid this whole flower bed, put some nice little bushes in there, put some plants in there, and it was the cutest little thing. Well, it's been, no, I haven't even looked. It's been quite a few years now since we did that. And the one bush has just taken off and it's grown like a weed. And I told Dale, I said, okay, every year I get in there and I hack the thing down. I just hack away at it. I mean, I really, really trim it back because it's just grown so big. I'm tired of it. It's not even that pretty. Okay? It's not even that pretty. The other one that we planted at the same time, it's the same type of bush. Don't ask me what they are because I don't remember. But with all due respect. Oh, that didn't feel, well, that's true. When somebody says it like that, with all due respect, means you're full of crap. They don't believe you. They don't agree with you. That's our house.
January 16th.
Mm-hmm.
It had been.
Yeah, right after that, the year of 16, we worked on that flower bed. Ah, we just found our house on like
Look at that little tree.
Realtor.com. Our little Japanese maple out front. That's before we did anything to that flower bed.
It was a stick.
I know it. So anyhow, I told Dale, I said, I'm done with this bush. He's like, what do you want to do with it? I said, I don't know, yank it out. Well, you want to replant it somewhere? And I said, I don't really care. Where would we plant it? He goes, I don't know. I said, just take it out. We can sacrifice it. The bush probably cost us, I don't know, what? Less than $20 probably, because it was little. Tiny little bush, you know. We bought it as a little baby. I said, we can take it out. Just take it out. We'll sacrifice it. I don't care. So, yeah, that pond was full of cattails. I know. I know. It's amazing how much things have changed since we moved here and started doing things, right? And you go back and you see old pictures and whatnot. So he gets his truck, he gets his chain, he gets it, situated, chained up to pull it out. That puppy was not coming out. Broke the chain not once, twice. You broke the chain. Tried it from different directions, played around with it. It was quite a while. Every time he would get ready to try to yank that thing, I stepped way back. I'm like, I'm going to go way over here because, I've seen too many videos of things that happen. Chains go flying, smash into people's back windows, or just go, I'm like, I'll be over here. I'll be over here while you're pulling on that thing, It took quite a bit of work, but eventually a little piece, part of it came out. Part of it came out.
Because it split. I mean,
yeah.
There was 2 bushes.
And there was only one bush when we planted it, which is weird. There was one bush when we planted it. I don't know how it got a whole nother.
What do raspberries do?
Well, I guess it multiplied and it made a whole nother shoot or something. But anyhow, he got it out. He got it out. I will just say he got it out. Yeah. And then just since he had it hooked up to the back of the truck, I said, well, just drag it over to the fire pit. So he just dragged it over to the fire pit. Guess we're going to have a fire at some point.
What's for dinner?
I don't know. We talked about that already. We don't know what's for dinner. We had hot dogs for lunch. We had service for hot dogs for their lunch service. 2 of the kids, they were hanging out probably with their parents, their moms or whatnot. Put them to work. They had an order form. And they had a menu. So it was. These 2 little kids came by and they handed us the menu. So it was hot dogs, chips, popcorn, drinks, something else. There's something else. I can't remember what though. Anyhow, and then popcorn, chips, drink, hot dog. No, on the menu. There was another item on the menu. Water. I don't know. There was something else on the menu. Anyhow, they came by. The kids came by and they brought us. Oh, that's right. I had the menu. I had the order form. So they came by and they gave us our menu and our order form. And then they come back and asked if we had an order. They must have asked us 4 times if we had an order. After we'd already ordered.
Pays off.
Yeah, but even after we'd ordered and after we'd already eaten, they asked us if we had an order. Anyhow, it was kind of fun. It was kind of cute. There's little kids coming around, and they did it like all day. It was just for us, the vendors, and it was a nice idea because, a lot of times you go to a show and you might be there by yourself, and it's hard for you to leave your booth, and go somewhere else. So, yeah, it was cute. They did that all day. So we had hot dogs and I had popcorn. Dale helped me finish up the popcorn. He had chips. And then, of course, we had our cookies that the little Girl Scout parents made for the little Girl Scouts to sell, make some money. We didn't eat all the cookies yet. Almost, though. So that's what we've had so far today for lunch. We did start out with, the no bakes are good. We did start out with a nice breakfast. Dale made us a nice breakfast before we left. So, yeah, when they started asking if we had an order for the hot dogs, Dale and I both looked at each other and were like, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. We just had breakfast. I don't think we're ready for hot dogs yet. Of course, we didn't have to get up at the crack of dawn and be there like at 8 o'clock in the morning or anything. Because, we did all our work the night before. Have you ever had, this sounds weird, have you ever had chocolate covered pineapple? Anybody have chocolate dipped pineapple? I had never heard of it. I had never had it. So there was a booth there, and they were the edible fruit creation people. They have a store nearby. And so they came and they brought samples. They did have a few things for sale, but they were really there to promote the store, right? Oh, Mary Lou says yes, yes. So they were there to promote their store and hand out flyers. And if you wanted to order, the fruit bouquet type things to send to people or whatnot. And of course, you can go to their store, which is, it's not in the same town, but it's not too far away. So they had samples. You could sample, I believe it was chocolate covered banana. Everything was covered with chocolate. Chocolate covered banana, or chocolate covered strawberries, or chocolate covered pineapple. I was like, what? Chocolate covered pineapple? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll bite. I got to try it because I love pineapple. And it was actually very good. It was actually very good. The whole slice of pineapple was not covered with chocolate. Only part of it was. But it was good. It was really good. At the end, when they were leaving and packing up, it came around and he's like, I have a few chocolate covered strawberries. You want chocolate covered strawberry? At that point, I was like, no, thank you. But they were trying to pawn off the food they had left over. But yeah, that was pretty good.
Do it,
Yeah.
And we don't have to take it with them.
Exactly. Probably end up just throwing it away at that point if they still had some left over, right?
Sure. Well, if you're gonna throw it away.
Yeah. Well, if it's just going in the trash, okay. I mean,
Help the cause.
I know. I just wasn't in the mood for it at that point. We're packing up, trying to get out of there, and packing up is pretty easy. It doesn't take too long. I'll tell you what, though, them people across from us with the plushies. I mean, he literally opened up these big totes. You've seen them. They're black totes with the yellow lid. They're big totes. He literally, it just like opened them up, and it was just like swoosh, 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 and just everything went in there. It's like, wow. I can't imagine their setup time. I mean, because it didn't even seem like, maybe they were in specific totes by what the item was. I don't know. Bye, Lynn. See you later. But talk about easy teardown. They were just like boom, 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 and everything was in the totes. And then it was just taking their tablecloths off, breaking down their tables, and hauling their stuff out. It was like crazy. I still don't know, Dale, if it was the girl who made all of the crochet items. I almost think it wasn't. Because she sat there and she was selling the bread and the cookies. And she had her own little machine there, and he had his own machine. And I don't think it was her. But I never went to go talk to her. I'll tell you why I didn't go talk to her. This may sound very mean or judgmental or something, but she didn't seem very friendly. She just didn't seem. Yeah, but maybe none of this stuff was hers, but she was just tasked with minding the bread station. I don't know. But she just didn't seem like a person I would go sit and start chit-chatting with and having a good old conversation or anything. I don't know. She didn't talk to anybody that came to her booth or their booth. I don't know, Angie, maybe, but she didn't talk to anybody. Like, she never said hello to anybody as they came up. She just sat there on her phone the whole time. And I got a vibe, sometimes you just get a vibe. And so I didn't really feel I wanted to try to engage or talk with her. I don't know. I could have been completely wrong, but it's okay. It's one person, one day, Yeah. I did go over and look at some of her plushies though, because some of her little plushies had some interesting eyes. I was like, what in the world? What does she have on? They weren't like the safety eyes, and they weren't embroidered eyes. I could tell that from a distance. I had to go over and check it out. That's when I kind of snooped at prices and stuff. I just pretended like I was looking at the eyes, and I really was looking at the eyes, but I was also checking out these prices. um, they're felt. They're felt eyes. And so they're like fancy eyes. They got, like different pupils and eyelashes and all kinds of stuff, but they're a piece of felt. So I think you just glue them on. There's no way they were sewn on. You just glued them on. And not all of the animals had them. Some had safety eyes. None of them had embroidered eyes. And I don't really like embroidered eyes. I've seen people that do embroidered eyes, and they like to do them for young kids, because the safety eyes aren't all that safe for like little kids. I know it's weird. They're called safety eyes, but they're not safe. Makes no sense, does it? But I don't like, oh, Michelle wants to know, what does RBF? Go ahead, Angie, type it in there for her. um, what was I saying?
Embroidered eyes?
Yeah, I don't like the embroidered eyes. These felt eyes were kind of cool. I'm just wondering, like, how much did they cost? I don't know. Some of her plushies were so big, they had like these giant eyes. I mean, they had some of the biggest glittery safety eyes I've ever seen, because these animals were big, But I just ordered some more safety eyes. I have some. I have some. I have limited sizes. I don't have any really big ones, any larger ones. So I was like, well, And not that I do a ton of plushie things, but I've done enough plushie items that I was like, I'm really kind of limited on my eyes. Limited on my eyes. But I ordered a couple sets. We'll see what they look like when I get them. That's funny. Is Angie going to go live tonight? Angie going live tonight? I don't think you went live last week, did you? Angie needs my help. And I'm more than happy to do it. I think it will be fun. I think it'll be fun. She's redone the whole craft room out of necessity, really. They had to redo the whole room. So everything had to come out. Now everything's going back in an organized and orderly fashion. But she just would like.
Are you gonna find anything?
How will you find anything? That's right. How will you find anything? Once you get it organized, it's all down the tubes after that. You never know where anything's at. It's all, like I said, I'll put things away in perfectly logical places. Unfortunately, I just can't remember what that logical place was. And then when I find that,
I'm gonna hide it.
No, it's very logical where I put it. I just don't remember. And then when I do find it, then I go, well, of course that's where I put it. Of course that's where I put it, right? But Angie would just like some help, like looking at her yarn and figuring out a good way to organize it all. I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. Burn it, Dale says. Dale.
Well, we can start over fresh.
Oh, perfect, Angie. But burn it, start over fresh. Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Be able to start over fresh with a whole new buying perspective. And oh boy. No, don't do that. Don't listen to Dale. No. Don't. But I will come up there and help Angie organize her yarn. It'll be fun.
When?
I don't after the retreat. Not happening before the retreat, that's for sure. I got to tell you this. When she came to pick up some boxes for me, she has a Mustang, okay? And it was a nice day. So she had her top down. We went up to Subway in her Mustang with the top down.
On the car.
What? We went on the car?
The
What?
top was down on the car.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, on the car. The car,
I've
not
been accused
Angie's
of that
top.
before.
Not Angie's top. The car's top.
Should be itching.
Oh gosh, yes. Angie currently has poison ivy, so she's itchy. Anyhow, um,
Don't go there.
I'm not. Angie can talk about that later when she goes live. So anyhow, I sent her home with 4 large boxes stuffed into her car, in the back seat and one in the
Did they
front
make it?
seat. Oh yeah, did they make it? Good question. I'm sure if they didn't make it, I would have heard by now.
Maybe not.
She wouldn't have told me. She'd be like, "Oh, how do I tell Mindy?
No,
How do I tell Mindy I lost one of these boxes on the highway?" But so she's pulling out of the driveway and she's got these big boxes sticking up out of her back seat, and and then there's the one in the. It was funny, right? It was funny. I'm actually surprised that she got as much in the Mustang as she did. And she's like, "Don't worry. On the way to the retreat, we're taking my friend's car. We'll have plenty of room in there for our stuff and your stuff." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh, it was funny though. Where she's like, "Nah, I can take one more. We'll cram it in here." I'm like, "Okay, all right, let's go." Oh, there's a lot of stuff in that little Mustang back seat. Oh, I'm running out of these. I'm going to have to open up drills now. You guys are here for all of the fun stuff. Watching me move my painting, move to a new section, get new drills out. I mean, all kinds of good stuff.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, she had to stop on the way home because it started to rain. And then she was worried that are my scissors over there, by the way? They are. Thank you. I'm like, they're not in the drawer. What's going on? It started to rain and she was worried the top wouldn't go up. I take it went up okay. That's funny. Well, thank you for putting the top up. I mean, you could get wet. No, I'm kidding. Oh. You know, you do what you got to do sometimes. Last year's retreat, we called last year's retreat the low frills retreat, which meant, you know, we didn't get a ton of stuff, you know, giveaway things and door prizes. We did have some door prizes and whatnot. But this year has definitely been a little more. Just, I'll say a little more. Yeah. So Karen is working this weekend on something at her house. I've been working on like shout outs for sponsors, making little, you know, thumbnails, putting it in our Facebook group for the retreat. And I've been putting them on my YouTube so that like the bigger world out there, besides people coming to the retreat, can kind of see, hey, who's sponsoring this Mingle in the Mitten thing, you know? Yeah, exactly. We want to get them excited. We want to get people excited.
Oh, wait, there's more.
There's more. Yes.
Anybody last minute?
I mean, you know, that's how you get out there in the world and people get excited about coming to a retreat. Besides, you know, they hear other people talk about going to a retreat and how much fun they had, and they talk about it. And
is there still time?
There is still time.
No, is there?
What do you mean?
Last minute decisions.
Well, yeah, I have 3 spots still, so I suppose if somebody wanted to go at this point, all they'd have to do is pay and get there. But at this point, I'm just like,
you never know.
I'm not going to fill those 3 spots, and it's okay at this point. It's okay. I mean, it kind of stinks because, I have swag for a certain number. I've planned everything for a certain number of people, but it is what it is. It is what it is. There's always next year, Dale says. There is. But next year is a new year. A new year, new things, new stuff. It's okay. It's
A
okay.
new adventure.
What kind of containers are those in the suitcase that are square?
Karen, you're all done with your project? These are the large Tic Tac containers. These are the large Tic Tac containers. Oh, and this is the case that Mr. Sunny knocked off the table one time when he tried to jump up onto my diamond painting. And these did not open, which I'm surprised because so many people talk about when their Tic Tac containers fall and they open and the lids pop off and they've just went everywhere. These did not open. These did. These opened. These 2 or 3 right here opened. And that's what made a mess. And then downstairs, I have another case like this. And that got knocked off my table downstairs recently. Uh-huh. And that
like
had
4 or 5 more of those.
I love them kitties. That's right.
Love them.
And that case had 3 of these open. And the drills went all over. And not all of the drills, but they went into boxes of diamond paintings that were sitting down there. That was a hot mess. What was I going to say? A holy hot mess. I think that's what I was going to say. I was down there trying to save drills, get drills back into the containers or into a tray or something. I got a bunch of them, but I know that if I was to go down there and take there's little diamond paintings. They're the little ones, I know if I was to go down there and like empty out those boxes, I'm going to find a lot of drills. There's going to be a lot of drills. But they're going to live in the box until I take those out and empty the box. And it's just like one of those cardboard, like when you get a ream of paper, it's like those paper boxes, reams of paper come in. I should get a tote or something and put them all in a tote. It's all the gnome stuff. And they're just in boxes sitting in front of the table. I guess I'm happy that they were there. It caught all the drills and all that. I got upstairs after I picked up some of it and I started trying to sort them out and figure out what I had. And since the lids popped off, I didn't know which color was which number, DMC code. Had to figure that out for 2 of them. And then when I got up here, I was like, okay, I'm missing a lid. I am missing a lid. So one of the lids was still down there in the box. I had to go back down, and that's when I really decided, okay, Dale's busy doing something. We were getting ready to leave, but you were talking to the neighbor kid. The neighbor had stopped by. You were talking to him. So I just kept doing what I was doing and rescued as many drills as I could and started sorting out the 3 colors. And yeah, so needless to say, those drills are no longer down there on the table. The painting's still on the table, but the drills have been removed. Mm-hmm. You're right, Shannon. I could. Hello, Emma. Emma, I didn't see you yesterday. Pop into the crochet live. Emma always pops into the crochet live on Friday. I didn't see you yesterday though, Emma. What were you doing, Emma? You don't have to tell me. But what were you doing, Emma? No. A little bit. That's okay. Emma knows. She'll be fine. Yeah, she usually pops in on Friday afternoon. It's usually after Diamond Art Club has announced their last painting for the week that they're coming out with. And Emma will come in and she'll talk about the offerings for the week. Yep. That's what she does. Oh, you're working. Well, that's no fun. That is no fun at all. How many jobs do you have, Emma? You said you picked up another one. How many do you have? One is too many, honestly. I mean, one is too many, in my personal opinion. I can say that. I can say that, being retired, I can say that. I don't know if Dale would agree. I think Dale would like a job.
I have a job
You do? What's your job?
picking up after you turn the lights off.
Oh, well, that sounds like a full-time job, picking up after me. I don't know. The other day, we worked well together. Oh, it was Friday. It was Friday before Angie came over. We cleaned. Dale asked me, he gave me the choice. He said, would you rather vacuum or clean toilets? I said, I'll vacuum. I will vacuum. So I vacuumed and vacuumed and vacuumed, and he cleaned toilets and cleaned toilets and cleaned toilets. And then Angie got
I
here.
don't know if you were ever going to get done.
Vacuuming? Or cleaning? You cleaned toilets for a long time. We have 3 bathrooms, 3 toilets.
Oh my.
I know. The one doesn't get used hardly at all.
Which one would that be?
The one upstairs, the one in the hallway.
You're always in it.
I'm not always in that one. I don't use that one that often. It's not like it's the one in our bedroom.
That's different.
Once in a while.
You use the other one. Nothing.
I hardly ever use the one downstairs. That is your bathroom downstairs.
Yeah, I don't know.
I try to. Unless it's an emergency. And I'm like closer to that one. I try not to use that one. That's the man cave bathroom. Karen's like, I use it. Yes, Angie used it. Yes. See, that's what we call basically the guest bathroom. Mm-hmm. It's the outhouse bathroom. I wanted to take.
Up here?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the one downstairs.
No. I wanted to take the outhouse wallpaper trim off, but Dale liked it. So now we've just turned it into the outhouse bathroom. It has, my mom got a picture of outhouses, but that's really all. The picture of the outhouses and the outhouse wallpaper trim is really all that's in there. Although currently there is a diamond painted cow in there on the counter. I thought, well, why not? It's farmish, Yeah. And then that little musical thing, the little barn that used to go around through the thing that's broken, a kid messing with it and took the little winder thing. So now you can't wind it up and make the little horse. He goes around in a circle and he goes through the barn. But he can't do that anymore because you can't crank him up and make him do it because some little smart aleck decided they took the crank out of the thing.
I want the crank.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know what they ever done with it.
I don't know either. Why would they want the crank? But
piss off the Pope.
Well, not the dead Pope. I know. You can't piss him off. He's happy now. He's a happy guy now. Yeah, that made us not happy that our crank disappeared for our little mechanical horse thing. Yeah. Not happy about that at all. Okay, I've been seeing this woman, and it's almost time for me to go, but I've been seeing this lady. She's a crochet person. I'll call her a crochet artist. because she does things free-handed. She creates things, but she creates large things out of crochet. Like it requires structural things. Like she's cutting wood and 4x4s, and she's building structures that she's crocheting. Like she did a stitch. That was one of her most recent projects, was stitch. But stitch is like 4 feet tall. Okay. Well,
Wow.
I know this project she's working on. It started with legs, 4 legs, some fluffy white yarn, white feet, and then a body. She basically built a table out of wood, 4x4s for the legs, a tabletop, and then she started attaching the crocheted legs onto the 4x4s and then stuffing them, with the polyfill. And then she started crocheting the body of this animal around the table. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I knew instantly what it was. Other people were making guesses that were wrong, but and she just does a little reel or whatnot on Instagram like every day to show a little bit of progress. So it's now to the point where it's got a neck, it's got a butt, a back, and she's coming up the neck. And the one I saw today, she's making the head to attach to this neck. Bye, Michelle. And it's a horse, you guys. She's making a horse out of crochet. Right, Karen? It is wild.
A full-size horse?
It's going to be a 5-foot tall horse.
A pony?
In crochet.
A pony?
But that thing weighs a ton. It's got 4 4x4s for its legs. It's got another 4x4 down its neck. And then it's got this whole table inside it for like its belly, well, the structure part. It's crazy, wild. I can hardly wait until she gets to like the mane and the tail and stuff, because that will be fun, doing the mane and the tail. It's the coolest thing though. But I don't know where she gets these ideas to make these. They're all these huge, big projects. And I'm fascinated.
Crochet a greenhouse.
Crochet a greenhouse. That is not 934. Is this 934? No, it's not. Uh-oh. This is all I have left of 934. I hope I don't need, I hope this is enough. I hope this is not one that spilled either, by the way. This is not one that spilled. I hope it's enough though. And I hope this is the only place that it has to go is right. It goes up into here. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I hope we have enough of this because it's looking a little slim. Little Slim Jim. I thought I maybe had a whole nother bag of these, but I do not. I do not. All right. I suppose it is time for us to go figure out truly what we are going to eat. And
That's good.
does that mean we're going out to dinner?
I don't care what you do.
Sounds like Dale wants to go out.
We have animals to take care of.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
So what's that mean? We can't go anywhere yet.
Uber.
Uber. We've never ever done that. We have never
Not so
ordered.
much.
We have never ordered food delivered to our home.
No, we can't get pizza.
No, we haven't ever ordered pizza either.
Mm-mm.
We've never ordered any food delivered to our house. Except on holidays when I order my family to bring food. Bring a dish to pass. Bring the salad.
That's
Bring
not much.
yeah.
You don't ask for much.
No, I don't ask for much. Just bring something to contribute to the family meal. I really don't know that this is going to be enough drills, you guys. I really don't think so. I'll let you know later if I run out. I will let you know. So, all right, time to go. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. Whatever you're up to. And I'll talk to everybody soon. I'll let you know what I find out. If it was $1 or $6 profit, I'll let you know. I can't remember if I paid.
You bought cookies. No.
Well, I know I spent if I made $1, I spent my dollar profit plus $1. But if the fee was $30, because I don't remember if it was 30 or 35, so I either made $1 or $6. I have to look that up.
So we're going out to eat.
That's right, on my profit. Well, I already spent it, so. All right, see you guys later. Have a good night.
Spend it all.